And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Gurren Otaku Council podcast. I'm your host, Ace.
And I'm McMillian.
And we're back for episode 11. But just like always, if you would like to be a part of the council and join us every week as we discuss all things anime and sometimes manga, then make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council. As well as another friendly reminder, our weekly episodes consist of me and McMillian following on with 3 animes of the current anime season to go along with and review and discuss the current episodes. And if there's a certain anime that you care about more than others and you want to listen to our discussion on that anime instead of the other ones, then the timestamp for when we start talking about that anime will be down in the description for the YouTube video, as well as for the audio platforms. It will be in the episode details, so you can know what animes when we talk about what animes, and you just skip right to that one if you will so choose. And with that being said, council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, we're back on another beautiful Sunday here. Just gonna start dubbing these anime Sundays here.
Fully loaded.
Because fully loaded. Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer once again did not disappoint for this week. They came back swinging as always. Like we mentioned a few episodes ago, though. I mean, the rest of the season should just be all gas, no breaks for both Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer.
Gas, no breaks. As presented by these 2 episodes specifically.
But we're not going to start with either Attack on Titan or Demon Slayer. Today we're going to start with the case study of Vanitas, episode 14, The Witch and the Young Man. And we pick up this episode right back where we left off at the end of episode 13 when everybody got thrown out of Charlattan's little clown world, if you will, her chaos world, her magical world, whatever the hell you want to call it. We end up with Jeanne and Noe in a little cabin. Well, not in a little cabin. I'll pause. They're out in the snow, but they end up in a cabin where we are meted with Jeanne telling Vanitas to get naked. Everybody,
strip right now, butt ass naked.
But not for what you think it is, though. She tells him to get naked because he's catching the fever, and he doesn't. No, she obviously, she wants to get him out those wet clothes because he's been out in the snow and everything, and so he can warm up. But it doesn't take away from the slight fan service that they do add. Not much, actually, that you would think. Just very, very small fan service, little small section of that. But the one good thing,
fan service.
Yes, but the one good thing that we did get out of this little small fan service between Jeanne and Vanitas is that this is our first time seeing Vanitas unclothed, as weird as that sounds. And Vanitas has scars all down his back. Presumably they look like, I guess you would say they're vampire scars, but they can either be vampire scars or more like beast scars, something like that.
Yeah, they definitely look
from like a beast or something.
Yeah, they definitely look like claw marks or some type of bestial thing attacked him. But yeah, we kind of get more now, a little bit of hints to Vanitas' past than we did from first season. As we know, he was an experiment of one dude in the church until he got adopted or saved by the original Vanitas.
Correct.
So it kind of just gives it more insight on the history of him.
On top of that, he mentioned Lou again. I don't think this was his, if I recall correctly, he mentioned Lou when we first met the doctor that you just referred to.
Well, it was either him or the doctor himself mentioned Lou.
Correct. So we don't know who Lou is, but it's just some guy or gal that's in Vanitas' past.
My money is that it's whoever that other kid was that the original Vanitas saved when he came. If you remember, there was a scene where it was the original Vanitas. I think he was either holding him and then reaching his hand out to our Vanitas, or he was reaching out to both of them. I can't exactly remember, but I do know the scene in season 1 was that. So we kind of get a little bit more of
correct.
I guess Lou, regardless of anything, we know Lou is important to Vanitas in some way, shape, or form.
In some capacity. And the little last bit of information that we got for Vanitas' backstory, if you will, is that while Janae was demanding / stripping down Vanitas to take his clothes off, the one piece of garment that he did want Janae to remove was his right glove. So either he's hiding something under his right glove, whether it be a botched experiment from his days being a guinea pig for the doctor, or something else dealing with the original Vanitas,
or he's Michael Jackson.
Or we already got one Michael Jackson, all right.
he is indeed would say it,
but yeah, so Vanitas is hiding something. This, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we get a mention of him hiding, something being weird with his hand. Yeah. I don't think they alluded to it in any other form in any episodes or anything.
No, I don't. I think this is
from my recollection, at least.
Well, if there has been some allusion to it, it wasn't verbal. This is like the first verbal confirmation of like something going on with Vanitas' left
right hand. Right? It was right hand. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it was his right hand. So Vanitas is hiding something. Of course, as we all know, whatever he is hiding, it will get revealed in due time. Whether he is a half human, half vampire, a dom, or some type of weird experience or something.
Yeah, my money's that he has some type of like vampiric hand or something like that, because
probably
he is shown to have like. I don't know if it's the glove or his actual hand, but he does like have like kind of claw things. But I haven't been sure if that's just how they animate it, or if that's that's actually like something that he actually.
And then it also appears that in some shots and stuff, like he has fangs as well sometimes. So
who knows?
They've always been like smallly alluding to that he may be part vampire or has something to do that happened in his past with the vampires, because we know that he had a run-in with the original Vanitas, who was a vampire. Yeah. So maybe Vanitas did something to him, or like you said, it could have been an experiment from when he was a guinea pig for the doctor. Who knows? But he's hiding something, and it will get revealed in due time. Mm-hmm. So we leave from there. And Chloe mentions also, not Chloe mentions, Janae mentions, we did get some more information on Vanitas. So Janae mentions that she knows Chloe on a deeper level, other than she was just trying to slay the beast. And I guess, if you want to talk about more of this, McMillian, I'll let you talk about this.
So, I mean, it's just interesting to find out that Janae, the reason this is so personal to her, the reason she asked Lord Ruthven to let her go to Gavaldon in the first place was apparently because Chloe was originally like an older sister / like family friend of hers, and then when she became a Chevalier, I think is what they're called, or Chasseur, it's something dealing with the arm. Whenever she joined that order that basically like works for people with her cannon arm or whatever, she got a mission to kill her, and she never really asked why. She just kind of was like, well, we're tool. Like she was told, I think, by her father or someone that we are tools. We don't need to ask questions on our missions. And it's just interesting to see, like, I wonder, will that have any significance to Chloe or anything? Because we already can tell from the episode that is weighing heavily on Janae, because she was like, I'm basically back to do the same thing, but Vanitas even confronted her and said, like, well, it seems like you have more personal ties. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Because I'm here to try and help save her, but you're here to kill her. Are you sure you should even be working with me, really? Or are you sure you might not even want to kill her? So, I mean, we obviously get some, like, confliction with Janae right now.
Correct. And then also due to the effect of, Janae having those past ties with Chloe, she knows exactly where the castle is. Even maybe not exactly. She knows the general location of where the castle is.
And
so
she it was good because she broke up a fight between Vanitas and Dante, because he sure was about to, I don't know if he was about to kill one of them, but it looked like they was about to break into a fight. But
listen, Johan wasn't having
Johan was ready to scrap.
We ain't never seen Johan this mad before. Johan wasn't having it, all right?
Yeah, normally Johan is all happy-go-lucky. He said, man, don't threaten my family. Don't do it. But from there, we are whisked away to Noi, and basically
immediately stranger danger.
Stranger danger. Horny part 2, if you will, of this episode. Because Noi is, I think he's naked as well, because they gave him his clothes like right.
I think he had on pants.
I don't remember. I just know that she was chomping on that nigga neck, and he was like, "Hold on, ma'am, excuse me, allegations,
illegal activities." My man said it's not polite to suck on the blood. My man said it is illegal to suck another person's blood without their permission. I'm like, wow, not illegal, no way. Okay, pulling out the terms here.
Molestation is what happened, and this assault, truly. But I don't know. We didn't really get much from that, other than obviously Chloe does not have boundaries, and
that part.
The dude who we still don't know anything about, other than that he appears to be Chloe's servant, is
Chloe's servant, or maybe even lover. We know he's in love with her at least.
I was about to say,
is she in love with him? I don't know.
Yeah,
he's definitely in love with her though.
Yeah, he obviously is like, hey, I have some possession issues. Don't be with my bitch. That's my girl. Right before he gives Noi back his clothes, and I'm just like, what is the dynamic between these two people? Because this is like, what the is going on?
It's immediately is all weird. Everything in his castle, nothing in his castle is normal at all.
And like right before we basically get any answers, Charlatan shows up and is basically just chilling with Chloe because they asked Noi to meet him in their dining room, basically, and they got all these like automated music contraptions, and Chloe refers to Noi by his name, and Noi's like, how do you know that? And then she was like, oh, she told me. And then Charlatan's wrapped around her like a scarf or some weird thing. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? And
so it definitely confirms that Chloe and Charlatan are in some type of cahoots with each other.
Best buddies.
But probably even more than what we realized, because like Charlatan is just chilling, and then even to the point where when like McMillian mentioned that there's these music automatons and stuff like that. When I first saw them, they reminded me of the clowns and stuff that be in Charlatan's little world and stuff like that.
You know what? I didn't even consider it. They do. You're right. They do look similar.
Yeah, that's what they reminded me of when I seen them. It's just that they, instead of having the clown head, they had an instrument and stuff. Yeah, but like the body, at least wise, definitely bear resemblance to the clowns that be with Charlatan and stuff. Which was, I guess, the first giveaway that she's here. But yeah, Charlatan is here. She's chilling, and it definitely takes up the threat level another notch because, you know, not for right now, at least as we know, Noe isn't in any danger, but then that can flip very quickly because Charlatan is there.
As we know,
I mean, no more explanation is needed. Charlatan is here
because as we know from the first season, Charlatan does not need much time to start up the bullshit and
at all.
Yeah, I'm just so like this was such like a low level of like revealing type of stuff in this episode because now my mind wonders like what is the relationship between her and Charlatan because I don't think most vampires aren't just like give me a curse. So I'm wondering, like, what?
And then even if, and because I'm glad you mentioned it, because even if Chloe is a cursed vampire, she has not lost her mind or anything. She still has control of herself.
You know what? You're right. She is very composed for a person that is cursed. If she is the one cursed, because like I said, as far as we know, everyone keeps referring to her that she's the beast, but it could be the dude. We already said that.
Like it just has not been completely confirmed yet that Chloe is the beast.
Yeah, and I'm wondering.
That's what everybody seems to think as of right now, that Chloe is the beast right now. But
I mean, she's working with. She's obviously working with Charlatan, but like you don't have to be cursed to work with Charlatan. I should say because technically, Lord Ruthven, the double cross of the year. is under her employ, or at least works with her in some works with Charlatan in some capacity, and he does not appear to be cursed, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, as far as we can tell.
So,
as well as speaking of Lord Ruthven, another little Jeanne pass we got from here today is her parents actually used to be students of Lord Ruthven.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that's why she has such heavy ties with him.
Mm-hmm. So
that was an interesting fact to know. She did not mention if her parents were still alive or not, but just for the fact that her parents used to be were students of Lord Ruthven, and that's why she's basically with him all the time, so to speak.
Yeah. And I thought that was interesting because at the point of the episode where you get to see like Jeanne's dad or whatever, or maybe that was Lord. Actually, you know what? Maybe that was young Lord Ruthven. I don't know. It was a dude with red hair, so I'm not sure if that was.
You talking about when they took whoever took Jeanne to Chloe's mansion? Mm-hmm. That was referring to. I think it could have been Lord Ruthven because he did have red hair.
At first, I thought that was her dad. I was like, why is he not saying anything when Jeanne?
But then we haven't seen his dad though, so I mean, we haven't not his dad. We haven't seen her dad, so it could have been her dad. But if anything, I think my money is on Lord Ruthven because why would her dad bring her? Not saying why would her dad bring her. It would be weird, but
well, I mean, they said they took trips there a lot, and that's how Chloe became like a sister to her.
Well, yeah.
So, I don't know.
So it could have been her.
I was just saying it's just weird. It was just weird to me that her dad was there the whole time while she was like having this conversation with Chloe, and he was just like, "I'm not gonna say shit." It's really like he made no comment. It was just odd, but yeah. I guess we can get to the review of this episode because it's like I said, not much else happened. It was legit like this was one of those staging episodes basically where we got a little bit more insight into each character and kind of got more of like a setup for what I'm assuming is next episode is Noi and Chloe getting
Charlatan.
Noi, Chloe, and Charlatan
and Chloe.
The group in the mansion basically getting to know each other. With that being said, I think this episode was like 6.5, really, like close to a 7. It wasn't like I said, not too much happened. And the staging of the events wasn't too bad. It just felt like at times it felt like the tonal shift was like just kind of like that. So it was like something you had to like adjust to really fast. But other than that, it was a pretty good episode. Because you got a lot of background knowledge.
Yeah,
I feel like.
I agree. This episode was basically what I was expecting for the first episode of part 2 coming back from Vanitas. I expected the first episode to be, the staging episode and whatnot, but they said, no, we coming back swinging. And it went from 0 to 100 real quick in the first episode back of Vanitas.
Yeah, they definitely took their foot off the pedal for this one. Which isn't bad because Vanitas is like a mystery type of anime. So
correct.
You can't be all gas all the time because then people will miss you. But
correct. Because I mean, so yeah, I think I get about like a 6.5, 7 as well. It's just that staging episode. We got to learn that Vanitas has more secrets that he's been hiding, even though we already knew he's been hiding some stuff. But we got to learn more about him as well to this episode. We got a further look into the backstory of Jeanne and Chloe on how they knew each other for a past. Also, another interesting topic is Chloe has lived longer than Lord Ruthven, so she's older than him.
Oh,
so
that's
she's
right.
She's one of the oldest living vampires around.
That's
even,
interesting.
like I said, even so for the fact that she's lived longer than Lord Ruthven.
Could it be Chloe who introduced Lord Ruthven to Charlatan the whole time?
It could. Listen, we don't know what's going on here at all. And then on top of that, they didn't really touch upon it. Well, they did touch upon it, but the book is still gone. It's in. Charlatan now has the Book of Vanitas, basically. Once you really think about it, in the grand scheme of things, Charlatan now has the Book of Vanitas.
Oh yeah, what
can come of this? Who knows? Because as we all know, or some of you may not know, that the Book of Vanitas can be used to cure curse vampires, but if I'm not mistaken, it can also be used to curse them.
Yeah, because I mean that was the original,
amongst other things.
That was the original thing because the original vampire Vanitas of the Blue Moon was shunned by other vampires, and he decided to be like, "I'm petty, curse y'all niggas, because fuck you."
Correct. And then even on that mention, who knows? Maybe Charlatan is some sort of embodiment from the Book of Vanitas, because we really don't know what Charlatan is. We just know she's an antagonist going around whenever she shows up, just wreaking havoc and making cursed vampires and spreading curses. And now that she has that book, is depending on if she can actually use the book or not, or even if anybody other than Vanitas can use the book, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, because it also sparks a question of what their intentions for Noi might be, because he's already under I don't know if he's under Ruthven's control or if he is
He's not under his control. We just know he's under that one spell for when Ruthven gives this one command, Noi will have to listen regardless of what's going on. If I'm not mistaken, it was to kill Vanitas. That was the command.
Which is what the anime started with, was that one line. So a lot of moving pieces, and I'm looking forward to see how this all falls for the rest of the season. But yeah, all right, decent episode.
Well, moving on chugging on along, everybody, and it's time for Anime Sunday once again. the two animes of the hour, Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer. But we're gonna start with Attack on Titan, episode 78, The Two Brothers, and just like we've been saying. Almost every episode, all gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. We start off with Attack on Titan, where we left off from the previous episode with Zeke getting blown up in the neck and him falling from the wall. And we pick up from there, from Eren trying to get to Zeke before he dies. And let me tell you, folks, it is a battle. It is a battle.
The clusterfuck of events that happened in between this episode was ridiculous, but they did a really good job of moving all the parts. Because you start off with the Titan fights between Eren beating the shit out of Porco, and
beating the shit out of Porco,
taking another shot shell to the head, which is just, oh my god, it's cool because it's technically headshots don't kill Titans, but it's just every time I see it, I'm like,
it's even for, like you mentioned, that we know that headshots don't kill Titan, but it's just damn, these headshots gotta be doing something to you.
I mean, it seems
they're not killing you, but they gotta be slowing you down in some capacity, because they sending these rounds at your ass.
I say it definitely does seem like it's slowing Eren down to some degree.
They sending them hoes, and then like we mentioned, he beat the shit out of Porco to the brink of death. The only thing that stopped him from killing him was Peak the general.
Right. Peak shot, and then Rainer caught up.
Yeah, Peak and the general saved Porco's life because he needed it. As soon as Eren was finna deal the final blow, here comes the general to save his life. And then, like you said, Reiner catches up to Eren finally. And they start their little. They continue their little scuff they had going on.
And then my dude Zeke did exactly what I thought he was about to do. He let the chopper sing. Well, he was about to let it sing, and then he got stopped by Colt, and he was like, "Hey man, look, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying give Falco some time. Let us leave, all right? Let us go."
My question to that scene is, what did he expect? They're dead ass in the middle of a war right now.
Colt,
and you mean to tell me, let me give you about 3 to 5 minutes to get out of distance, maybe even longer than 3 to 5 minutes, because the yell has a large radius, so it may even take you longer than 3 to 5 minutes. You want me to give you an X amount of time to get out of range while we're in the middle of a full-on war?
Yes.
Come on now.
Can't you just just let me go to McDonald's before this?
Did you not see the Cart Titan up there sending rounds like it ain't no tomorrow?
He said,
"Do you not see that?"
He said, "I don't care about all that. I'm just trying to save my brother," which I understand. I get it. I'm an older brother. My only thing is, Colt, you used to work closely with this man. He even said it himself. I don't necessarily understand you all that much, but my thing was, you've seen him do this before to a different place. And you were like, I don't think he want to get kids, but he killed kids. They went to the island of paradise to murder children.
What was it? I guess that wasn't their goal to murder children, but in the instance, children was murdered.
So
yes.
So I was like, how the hell you mean? Like I was like, that thought process to me is like, it's hella fucked up, because I was just like, they went there to start shit. And they killed, and I mean, granted, that's the goal, like you said, wasn't to kill kids, but children have died from Marley's, from their war. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, but Colt, like, for all intents and purposes, you fucked up, my guy.
Well, he didn't fuck up. Falco fucked up, really.
Yeah. But so, I
mean, it is what it is
because he let it sing.
I
loved how they took all the background sound out of that moment too. Like because he was like, "Oh, Colt, I understand." If anybody understands, when Zeke was talking to Colt, he was like, "If anybody understands, it's me. I understand what it's like to have a brother and like want to like care for him and stuff." But that being said,
be that as it may,
roar. And
I just don't understand. Like, what did you expect to happen? Like, we're in the middle of a full ass battle. Like, if anything, instead of you trying to make it to Zeke, you should just been hauling ass out of the city and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I thought
I just don't understand.
I thought that was weird too, that they just didn't immediately take off, because that was your best bet, honestly. But
that would have been your best bet, is just to immediately just haul ass and just hope for the best.
Because I kind of get it. Like, you work with him, maybe there's some bond there. But again, he's been shown. My thing is, Marley sent him to do this before, and he did it.
Correct.
And kids died as a result. So I don't think you thought that one through, Cole. Is all I'm saying.
Like, maybe if the circumstances were different, then yes. But I mean, they're dead ass in the middle of a battle. He's getting shot from the armor titan, not the armor titan, the cart titan. Aaron's getting shot by the cart titan.
Rainer's still up trying to disrupt everything.
Rainer's still up here wreaking havoc as well. And you want me to put this? We're dead ass in the middle of a fight. Like, do you not see what's going on around you? You don't see that Titan right there in front of you, and that Titan up there on the wall sending shots. Like, I just don't understand what you thought you was going to accomplish by going over there.
Also, when Aaron did his whole thing, Gabby and Falco's two of Gabby was it two or like two or three of their friends also got like murdered from the jump. If he had a problem with getting kids involved in shit, he wouldn't have let Aaron do what he did, but he did. So
hey, I mean, it is what it is. So we go from there. Of course, Zeke yells because, like we just said before, why the fuck would he not? And all the Titans have everybody that jumped the Zeke spinal fluid turned into Titans. Just as planned. Just as planned. So now all of our favorite corpse people. I can't not remember the name of their army unit for the love of me right now.
Recon Corps?
I think it's the Rose Corps.
Oh, it was Rose and Pegasus or Unicorn. I don't remember what the inner wall one. I know they have their symbol is like a horse, but I can't remember like what their last one is.
But they all gone. They gone. Even the general. I can't remember the general's name right now, but the general's gone too. Yeah, there you go, Pixis. He gone too. We did not get to see his Titan though.
No, but we got to see them. Really nice shot of when he yelled and everybody like slowly started turning like bright red, like when it happened. And Pixis is drinking and he just is like realization. He's like, oh well, this is it. And then he
was like, oh well, here it is. Here we go. It was nice knowing you, and just boom.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of that, the shot though when everybody turned into Titans, that was beautiful. They panned through the whole city and just see all of the lights going up and stuff. It was beautiful.
The worst worst firework show for everybody inside Parody and the Marleyans, but for everybody watching the show, they was like, yes.
Basically. So yep. So just Falco turned into a Titan, and in the process killed his brother Colt. He turned into a little barbecue piece. It was his own fault though, because he chose to stay with him. But
I felt that was such like a, I don't know, in my opinion, that was like touching but dumb, because you know what's about to happen. Like, if anything, I would have been running interference, be like, okay, you're a Titan, but we can at least make you eat a Titan shifter or something. Like, I'm not about to just end my life because I'm going to try and help you. That's all my thing. I was just like, man.
Yeah, it's wild. So he got turned into a little barbecue piece. We're just gonna fast forward a little bit. Falco attacks Rainer. He tries to eat Rainer, but instead, our boy Porco decides to give up his life and let Falco eat him. So now Falco is
Porco was on the brink of death. Basically, he couldn't.
Yeah, he was on the brink of death anyway. So he was just mentioning like, instead of letting my death be for nothing, he gonna let Falco eat him. And now Falco has inherited. I do not know the name of this Porco's Titan. The Jaw Titan. There we go. Thank you, sir. That's why it's two of us here. So now Falco has inherited the Jaw Titan, and in the midst of that happening, Reiner let Eren get away. And then, once again, fuck Gabby. All my niggas hate Gabby.
Okay, before we get to that, though, the scene that happens right before Eren and Zeke meet back up before the fuck Gabby situation starts was really well done, because then you get a steal of the whole war, like, as it's going on. Everything.
Well, that's during the fuck Gabby situation.
Is that? Oh, it is. But, like, a little bit before that, you also get, like, for instance, John and Connie showing up to help, to basically like run interference with Rainer trying to get to Eren. Mikasa and Armin fighting Peak and her unit, Peak, the Cart Titan, and her unit of troops on the wall, and it's just like a grand stage of setting, just like, oh shit, here's like the final moment. And then right before Eren makes it to his brother, you see Gabby with this anti-Titan rifle.
Where the fuck was she holding that? Like, I know she found it earlier, but it was nowhere in shot until she magically had it.
You're not wrong, because she was on top of that horse before, and I don't remember ever seeing her with the thing. Even when she was like standing next to Colt's body, I don't know where it was. Regardless, though, she let that motherfucker off. And she got the no-scope, people. She got the no-scope. Clean severs our protagonist / antagonist's head. And
I guess we did confirm, though, that he did need to be alive to use the Founding Titan's powers.
It did not matter how much alive either, because he fully got his head clean, chopped the fuck off. And his brain, I'm assuming they were going off of like, oh, when the brain gets separated from the body, it still got like a minute of it.
Yeah, it's still active
or whatever. So they was like, yep, that rule works, and they just went with it. But like I was saying before I got ahead of myself, the scene in before, like right when Zeke caught Eren's head, was they did a slow-mo grab of like the whole city, and they just showed all the events and like freeze frame, just like, this is the culmination of all this shit.
It's like they boosted up the animation just for these shots. It was so beautiful. And then, like you said, they slow-moed it down. They did a panorama around the city, and then they did a small little slideshow, like you said, going up to the different stages that they had set up previously and stuff like that. It was just, it was so beautiful. Yeah, and it was beautiful.
And even that, they also added like a little bit of foreshadowing and stuff too, to like make you worried, like where it was this conversation that Zeke and Eren had, where they were playing catch, and Eren dropped the ball. And so you're like, oh, fuck. Is Zeke going to drop the ball too? But luckily, no. He caught it. And now we are... and then we get to see them interact within the world of the coordinate, basically. And that was some shit, too, because we got the best quadruple cross, I guess.
We got the double cross, ladies and gentlemen. So it has finally been confirmed, at least for the anime only, that Eren was only doing this to use, basically he was using his brother just to get to the Founding Titan's power so he can cause the rumbling. Basically, he's like, fuck the euthanization plan. I can't believe you thought I would go along with a plan like this. And then here comes the other double cross. Oh, you thought I wasn't prepared for this?
I wasn't gonna free myself from this bullshit before you got resurrected. Oh no, nigga.
He said I had a long, and we can touch upon that as well. So apparently, in the instance between Zeke catching Eren's head and then Eren appearing inside the world of the coordinate, Zeke was spent X amount of years there with Founder Ymir.
But also the time in which passes in the regular world is instantaneous. So it's like, correct, it's impossible to track how, that's why he was like, it's impossible to track how long I've been waiting, but it feels like I've been waiting like years.
Yeah. And so, but during the X amount of time that he was waiting for Eren to come back, he was able to undo the no war renounce that the king had placed on the people of royalty. Mm-hmm. And so now he can fully, but that did also confirmed our other theory that we had. It was like, yes, how you mentioned that, royal people of royal blood, even part blood, they can't use the Founder of Titan's powers. Mm-hmm. How you use it, because that was one question that we did have last episode was, or if he's half blood, because that technically still count as him maybe not being able to use it. But he was like, well, the king's
promise,
and promise was still there, and you was correct about that. His promise was still in place.
But Zeke said, "Fuck all that." Fuck correct. All that.
How did he undo it? I have no idea.
He said Eren was the key to doing it, so. I'm assuming, I guess, while he was waiting, basically, maybe the effect of having Eren's head in his hand was the fact that he could tell Ymir to do things that he normally would not be able to. So he was like, to renounce the promise, also bring Eren back to life, probably was his like thing. Like, heal him. And then we got the double cross of fuck you, and then Zeke being like, no, fuck you, big Joker.
Oh shit, basically. So yeah, it's just I kind of saw the double cross from Eren at least coming. I wasn't quite sure, but that was one thing I did see coming. I did not expect him to get his head fucking blown off, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone saw that coming.
And I definitely did not expect the double cross from Zeke as well. Like that came out of nowhere. Like I was like, "Oh wow!"
He said, "Oh, you played small Joker, here, big Joker."
Basically, because I was like, "Damn, okay, Eren, you fooled him." But then Zeke was like, "No, you thought I fooled you." It's just wild. I just did not expect.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
figured Eren's double cross was going to happen because, like I said in our previous episode, when you asked me, I was like, based on all of his actions, Eren wants freedom over everything, and to me, it does not sound like euthanizing his whole race of people would ever sound like freedom to him.
No, it's just death.
Yeah, like extinction. It's just extinction. So he was. That's why he was like, "Why the hell would I do that? I'm here because I was born. I'm not gonna stop that from happening, like for other people."
Yeah.
So
correct.
But regardless, episode gangbusters. I don't rating for me is like. This is a 10, probably.
You gonna give it a 10? I'll give it.
It's a high ass. If it's not a 10, it's a high ass.
It's 9. Not. I mean, it's like a I was gonna say it's about like a high ass 9. I don't know if I give it a slap 10, maybe, but I'll definitely just give it.
That animation boosted it. The animation, the way they framed the head, him getting shot, like.
I still wondering if people are complaining about the CGI now.
I still, again, for the people that are complaining about CGI, watch one episode of the Berserk relaunch, and you then watch this and tell me that we're doing bad, because I feel like we're doing fine. But also, I feel like this episode,
I feel like we're doing just fine.
Also, I feel like this episode, they did a lot of it was a lot more hand-drawn Titans. Because, like, even, like, when Zeke, like, for instance, like, when Zeke got zoomed in on, they did that. There was moments where Reiner's Titan wasn't CGI as well. Like, I think they also did boosted well, I think they worked harder a lot for this animation, considering what happened this episode was heavily important. But yeah, we'll just man, this is a really good episode, and I cannot wait to see how this the double cross resolves, because I'm just
correct.
I mean, because now the opening is called Rumbling, so I feel like we know who gets it, but
we have to see, because I mean. Because I mean, a lot of people, at least from the perspective of the manga readers, they did not like the ending. So between now and the ending, something happens that they don't agree with, whatever that may be.
I'm enjoying it so far.
But yes, I'm enjoying it as well so far. And then on top of that is we still got to deal with all these Titans that Zeke just let loose inside of Paradise. And they don't care who you are; they attacking anybody on sight. But one of the funniest things that caught me during this episode was Yelena, how she's just sitting on top of the castle, just watching all the battle unfold and stuff. She's just up there chilling. Man.
High Man in the Tower. Just the Man in the Tower, just like watching how all of this is going to unfold. The chaos that she helped start.
Basically, yeah. She's just up there chilling, watching everything. I thought that was that was funny as hell.
Yeah, especially her after her freak out face last episode.
Yeah, she's just up there chilling, out of care in the world,
but
not even worried about stray bullets or nothing.
And it is funny that she is not being worried about being shot because people being sniped right now, legitimately. But all that being said, really good episode.
Correct.
If it's not a 10, it's at least a high 9 for both of us. And
I agree.
Without further ado, we have to get to our last All Gas No Breaks episode.
That we do.
Which was Demon Slayer's Entertainment District Arc, episode 8, Gathering. And everybody done popped off this episode. And when I mean everybody, I truly mean, I guess excluding Inosuke, because he didn't really get a chance to show his chops. But from Tanjiro, Gyutaro, Daki, Zenitsu, and even Tengen's wives kind of showed out this episode. I
am so happy that my boy Zenitsu finally gets to show off. You know, I mean, I'm just finally glad he gets to show off.
I'm about to show you why you don't fucking fuck with kids, goddamn.
If Zenitsu don't have the strength of a Hashira, he damn sure have the speed of one.
Well, he did. Well, Tengen did say, I don't know if the anime has shown it anywhere, because I think in the manga this came in like a little middle. You know how sometimes, like at the end of Demon Slayer they got the Taisho secrets.
Mm-hmm.
So in the manga they kind of have a section of that in between chapters where they do where the author did like little special drawings or stuff that expand on the universe. There's a ranking in the Demon Slayer Corps. And there's like a Hashira, and then under that is like the student of a Hashira or whatever. And Tengen referred to them basically as that rank, like a level right below Hashiras, which is like a 10,
he called them his
I think it was like Tenkosu or something like that.
It's something like that.
I know that.
Yeah. And he did refer to him as his students. The word I don't know what the word is, but I just know it means students. But he did refer to him as his students, and which I thought was a nice touch because they were gonna be all go under Rengoku until the tragedy.
Well, he made the offer. We don't know if they were going to accept it, but he made the offer.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they was going to accept it because I mean, they have a chance to get taught by a Hashira. I mean, why wouldn't you accept it?
Of course, yeah. Why not? I get right, but yeah. But like I said, everybody popped off this episode. Like from the beginning, we got to see Tengen and not Gyutaro not only like fight physically, but they were even giving each other like verbal blows because Gyutaro was hating again. He was like, "Man, you must have been like lucky since birth." And then we get Tengen's backstory and him being like, "Nigga, you crazy. I had to fight to survive. I was in the trenches the whole time, and I did, even though I didn't want that lifestyle. That's why apparently Tengen was he was born a ninja, left his family after basically not agreeing with the lifestyle anymore, became a demon slayer to protect the things that are dear to him, because the way his family was operating was like, if it's not, as long as it's not us, then we don't care. If it's not us physically, we do not give a fuck. And Tengen was like, I gotta live life better than that.
Like, these past few episodes of Demon Slayer definitely makes me want to have both the Mugen Train and the Entertainment District arc all in one season now together. Because they put both of these two arcs together in one season, this Demon Slayer could, like, season 2 alone could have been just like one of the greatest season animes.
You mean like if they had the original? Well, if they had, instead of doing the movie, they did Mugen Train arc and then Entertainment District arc instead of what they did, which was like, re-release it
in a movie,
re-release it, and do this. But
I mean, I guess technically that's how they did it, anyways, because they went through the Mugen Train arc again, and then right after Mugen Train arc ended, they started up the Entertainment District arc. If they just would originally did that as planned, this entire season could have been a banger. Like, I mean, for the people who hasn't seen the movie, like they have to be over the moon right now. Like, you got to see go through the Mugen Train arc and then now the Entertainment District arc. Like, you just been getting spoon fed nothing but content.
Just like straight fight after fight because, oh man, even like I guess I'll give a little bit of the manga perspective, but like the move that Tengen pulled off when he was fighting Gyotaro, where he where he slashed with one sword and then came around and grabbed the end of his other sword to try and cut off his head. I could not have asked for that to be animated better. I could not have asked for that. Was so well done. I had goosebumps when I saw that shit. I was like, yes, Ufotable. This is why you're my favorite.
I mean, yes, no, Ufotable really snapped out with the animation in this episode. They boosted up to that Mugen Train level quality, if you will. And it really showed towards when Tengen and Gyotaro started clashing with each other.
Yeah, even
you saw the little boost of fidelity.
Yeah, even when like Daki was on the roof fighting with Zenitsu, you saw the boost in like Zenitsu's movements. Daki getting her true eye basically, which is like her thing, and she got another power boost. And she was not only fighting Zenitsu and Inosuke on the roof, but she was also helping her brother fight Tengen and Tanjiro. I'm blanking on the names.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna touch upon that. I don't want to hear nothing about motherfuckers not liking Zenitsu. He is that nigga for a reason. For a reason. Before they even started the fight with Daki, before even Daki like ready her attack to go after Tengen, Zenitsu was already catching wind on her because you saw him take a step towards her, and then she released his attack, and he was like, "No, don't even try it." And then immediately takes her ass to the roof. No problems. And I'm just like, when I saw that, I was like, "That's my boy. That's what I'm talking about."
What happens.
Zenitsu is always on go.
This is what happens when the boy is serious. Always, as you can see, the training was for the results.
And this is exactly what I wanted to see: Zenitsu fighting somebody of some type of caliber. Even though this episode already confirmed that Daki cannot handle Tengen whatsoever. She can't fool because he chopped off her head again in this episode.
And even though we even got like a confirmation though of like the difference in between her and her brother's power, because Daki is confirmed to have killed 7 Hashira, while her brother is confirmed to have killed 15 over the years.
So that confirms, like you said, why her brother is so much stronger than her, and why Tengen can easily handle Daki, but her brother is a different case.
Her brother is a different case. One, because his blood demon are fucking ridiculous, and then 2,
it is ridiculous.
His weapons also are covered in the poison, which is unfortunately Tengen trying to put on a brave face is affecting him right now.
Yeah, I mean it is affecting him, but not as fast as it would be though, because like you said, he does have resistance to it. He doesn't fully nullify it, but he does have resistance to it because Gyotaro was like, this should have been affecting you by now. What's going on? But then later on, it was like, okay, it is affecting you slowly but surely. It is affecting you.
Yeah, because we can see.
So he does have some resistance.
If you pay attention, you can kind of see it on the side of his head, like right under his headband, behind his ear. He's got like this purple. His skin's like turning purplish, so which I think is a sign of the poison working.
Of the poison, yeah. And then another thing, which some people may have caught, some people may have not caught, but I had to go back and watch it a second time to catch it. How you mentioned how Daki had got a power up, her true eye, if you will. That's what we're just gonna dub it, her true eye. If you pay attention close enough, that's actually Gyotoro's eye, because when Daki opens that eye, Gyotaro keeps his left eye closed. Yeah. So, interesting fact, if just in case you missed it.
Yeah, no,
I mean, actually Gyotoro's
like
eye.
I said, Demon Slayer,
which my guess will allow Gyotaro to see what Daki got going on, and vice versa allow Daki to see what Gyotaro got going on, because even while she's up top fighting Zenitsu and Inosuke, she's still able to put pinpoint attacks down below on Tengen and Tanjiro with her bands.
Because the whole fight consisted of Tanjiro helping Tengen by basically blocking the band shots, and Tengen being able to focus solely on Gyotaro. Or if Gyotaro went for Tanjiro, Tengen would help Tanjiro dodge. It was just such a high frenetic action. The stuff that Demon Slayer got its hype off of, like just a really good ass episode this time like we even got to, and like even besides the action, we also got to see like one thing with Tengen's wives. They weren't even just like they were sideline characters, but we got to see a clip of them while the whole fight was going on. They were ushering, civilians out of the city. And first time I saw it, I did not notice that because in the manga that happens. But I thought for a second that they didn't do it in the show because I just saw the civilians running by themselves. But I went back and checked. They do that. And then right before the end, we even get to see what's her name, Alex? Hinatsuru. His other wife release a kunai attack on Gyutaro to try and give Tengen an opening. And it does because Gyutaro used it to at first he was gonna let the kunai hit him, and then he thought about it. He was like, "Wait, no. If they're using this, there's got to be a reason." He gets them off, and he notices he was like, "These are probably covered in wisteria poison," and that leads Tengen to basically get an opening, and then Tanjiro to come up on the side and help him, and that's basically where like the episode just ended, and it was the shots. So well framed. So well framed.
Very well framed. And then, like I said, I like the fact that he was able to catch on to the fact that something may have been up with the kunai, because he mentioned it was like, these just the volley kunais, they won't do nothing to me. Then he was like, no, wait a minute. I had to think about it. Why would they really go through this trouble just to do a pointless attack? We got to remember, I'm dealing with a Hashira here. They wouldn't just make this basically an attack that would do nothing. This attack has some type of purpose to it. And he was right. And in true Shinobi, when I also like the fact that, in true Shinobi fashion, that the kunai was dipped in something. And so I thought that was cool as well.
Yeah, no. It definitely it definitely showed off. I feel like that these side characters also have like their own skills or abilities and how they help Tengen on his missions instead of just being like reconnaissance or a pretty face, Correct. Really good episode though. Like,
and then I have a question. I don't know if I want this question answered or not.
Okay, well lay it on me and I'll let you know.
But I'm gonna make this statement anyways. So at the towards the beginning of the episode, we see Tengen have a flashback, just giving more about his backstory, and then one of the flashbacks that he had was he was with the Demon Slayer Corpse Master. And obviously, this was a time where he was a little bit younger and the scar wasn't all over his face, the scar that he originally has now. But you got to see a mark on his face that resembles the mark referring to that he may have been a sun breather. The Demon Slayer.
Okay, so
head honcho.
He's not a sun breather.
He's not a sun breather.
I'm gonna squash that theory.
You're just gonna squash
that theory right now. What the marking is later. It will be revealed later on, like what the thing is. But it's
no, that's fine.
It's
not.
That's fine.
It's
not sun breathing.
Okay, so that actually helps me out. Okay, that's fine. So squash it out. I'm gonna squash it out the way he's not a sun breather. Okay, it's just that the scar wasn't as big as it normally was, and it was just
that was him.
You got to see more of his face.
That was him when he was much younger, because I think that was around the time Tengen probably was promoted to a Hashira.
Correct. Somewhere around that time, yeah.
So that was the reason the scarring or his purple scarring wasn't as big and like covering both his eyes was just due to the fact that he was younger, and the thing that is afflicting him isn't there now. Wasn't as strong now, but yeah, he's not a sun breather. Sorry if that was your working theory. I do apologize to the people, but yeah.
All right, that was my question. But I mean, I guess other than overall, as a manga reader, was the way they animated the fights from I guess the manga chapters for this episode, was it everything that you imagined?
Oh my god, so much! Like I said, with that one scene specifically with him grabbing the sword, perfectly executed. I could not have asked for anything better. Like that was 10 times better than what I thought they were going to do with it. I thought it was going to be a little nice quick snip, but the fact that they focused on it, slowed it down enough for you to see it, and then even Gyotaro be like, "Man, this is dangerous." Great. And then when he used his sound breathing for the first time,
I was just about to ask. That's my next question. Are we going to count that?
So I mean, it did
as the animation for his sound breathing.
It did show a slight effect, but I did check just in case. Next episode, he should be using another technique for sound breathing.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll fully get to see if it has a big effect. Even if it doesn't, Tengen's sound breathing is a combination of good sword play and his bombs. And I feel like the way they illustrated it this episode is probably, it was really good. And I really don't have much complaints. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering what you think, because like he did the sound breathing technique and whatnot, and I just wasn't sure if I could take it as the animation around his blades that we saw, or was he just spinning his blades so fast it just like built up wind or something?
I basically am in the same boat as you. I'm not 100% sure, but I like the way they set it up to be like, okay, this is satisfactory for right now. Will I, if they do it next time like that, I don't think I'd have a problem with it. It's just I need a bigger confirmation of what it is.
Because like just due to the fact that he was spinning his blades, it was just hard to tell if that was the animation for his his sound technique or not. I just wasn't, like you said, just the confirmation wasn't just. It was I just wasn't 100%, at least on my end.
Yeah.
Other people, you may be 100%, but. At least for me, it just wasn't 100% for me that was how it looks. Because, like I said, it could have just been him from swinging his blade so fast that, he just caught wind and shit like that.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, look, I don't know. I wasn't really questioning a lot of stuff. I was just here for because they got on down this episode, man.
Yeah, no, like, this episode was good. Like I said, it was good. I watched it twice this morning. I watched it twice. It was good. It was good. Definitely what we've been waiting for. Once again, all gas, no brakes from here until the upper six has been defeated. Will Tengen survive? Only the manga readers will know. We'll have to see towards the end of this arc whether he makes it out alive or not. Will we lose another Hashira? I swear to God, if we lose another Hashira, I'm telling you, that just even boosts up the point where how we should have just put all this in one season. Like, this is wild. This is wild.
Would have been nice. It would have been nice. You got any more?
But time to rate this bad boy. No, I ain't got nothing else. I mean, because the whole episode is really just we getting it on. We getting it on. So, we throwing swords around here. That's what this episode was. We throwing swords, and I ain't got no problems with that at all. Oh, but yeah, time to rate this bad boy. I at least give it a high 9.
I was same honestly. High 9.
And they was boxing everybody this episode. Just like how I mentioned before, after I was seeing the Mugen Train, after I saw the movie, this type of action is what I wanted to see from season 2, and they have been delivering so far. There's not much more I could have asked for this episode, other than the fact that it could have been longer. That's the only thing I could ask for, is that make it longer. That's the only other thing I can ask for. Make the episode longer. Why are we not getting 45-minute episodes? That's the only other thing I can ask for.
Because television works off of your suspense. That they feed off of you not knowing what's going to happen. You need to come back and watch it. That's how they get you.
And then I also got my other wish I wanted from this season was I wanted to see Zenitsu fight somebody of some substance and not just some, ranky-dake lower demon, and even though it's a tag team with Inosuke, it's not some ranky-dake ass demon. They fighting an upper six. So
yeah, no, I think this is a perfect.
I'm glad I got my wish.
This is a perfect reversal of how Zenitsu was in the movie, where we didn't really get to see much of him. It was mostly like Tanjiro and Inosuke and Rengoku, who we really got to see more of. And what I really liked about the Entertainment District arc as a whole is because I feel like the whole team got to show their stuff. Like, we haven't really seen much from Inosuke right now, but we will, I feel like, in the coming episodes. So just something to look out for.
And then just like on top of the fact that Daki and her brother are in sync, which how you think they should be, but they're in sync with all their attacks and just everything is just moving at once. You got the bands flying everywhere. You got his blood sickles flying everywhere, trying to hit people. It's just oh my gosh, all the scenes was just so done so well today. Every single one of them.
You'd be remiss not to give it a high 9 with all the shit that was thrown in there today. Because from the little tidbits you learned about Tengen and his backstory to the action, and even the hint you got of like Daki and Gyotoro's backstory with the whole fact that like they might have grown up in a similar district when they were younger. That's why they feel like they get to treat people like shit now or something like that. Like, correct. I honestly, high 9. I almost want to give it a 10. It's just missing a little something, but it's really good.
I think that little something is Tengen's animation, or I guess more of, because even though Tengen was boxing this episode, I guess the fact that he only used one sound breathing technique is what, like, maybe it was that little something that we're missing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. I think that might be
breath animations.
Like I said, he was boxing though. He was boxing.
Yeah, but the breath animations, as we know, add an extra layer of hype. I mean, we saw it. Was it last episode? Last episode was the episode where Tanjiro like went off, right? Yeah.
Last episode Daki went off, not Daki.
Nezuko. The episode prior to last episode, as we saw with the sun breathing, the extra flair that breathing techniques get when they get animated, boy.
Yeah. Oh, but then you know what? I'm glad you brought that up as well. So I guess this also kind of confirmed the question I was having, where like, when they do their breathing techniques or just breathing in general, are they taking like one long breath or multiple breaths? And I guess it's either kind of somewhere in between one long breath and maybe multiple breaths. Because Tanjiro mentioned that he couldn't catch his breath and that he needed to find a moment so he can do recovery breathing. So, no, from that aspect, it makes me think that maybe, he's probably, like they're actually showing that they're taking one long breath and then, going into battle and action and stuff. Yeah. And then on top of that, water breathing is still here, but apparently, I guess Tanjiro probably just going to use it more of his defensive breathing and use his flame breathing for attacking more, which also gets me wondering, how is that going to work though? Him just switching back and forth like that, if that is the case, that he's going to truly use water breathing for defense.
As we've seen, it does. Sun breathing definitely has an effect on his body, so maybe in the moments where he's not fully prepared to use it, he can fall back on water breathing, since he's still shown to be able to use it. It just might have an effect with the sword, because as he stated before, the Nichiren blade is as strong as its wielder, and if you aren't using your most optimal fighting style, it's not going to work its best for you.
Correct. Well, yeah, I know, but that's why I mentioned that, because like he mentioned that, and then he also mentioned that his water breathing was suitable more for defense, which makes me think that he'll have like a dual breathing technique type situation going on, using his water breathing for defense and his sun breathing for offense. I don't know. Like I said, it's just, how would that work out with just him going back and forth?
We'll have to see.
Yeah, I know. I hate you damn margaritas.
I can either confirm or deny these statements.
We will have to see. The anime onlys, we will have to see these margaritas they already know. But like we said before, though, there will be no manga spoilers here.
Yeah,
no. Just the perspective of our boy McMillian here, who is a manga reader, and just how seeing this stuff is, getting animated, how it makes him feel versus from when he first read it in the panels and stuff like that.
Just as hype. If you have a good animation, it's just as hype. But Ufotable was so good. It's ridiculous how well they have taken the battles and either improved upon them or made them exactly what you probably saw when you were like looking at the steel image.
So would you agree that, I guess, these chapters that they covered in the manga, that is better animated than read?
Yeah, I mean, I would say your optimal view, if you're going to consume Demon Slayer, I would definitely say read it. Reading it's not bad. A lot of people will try and tell you that the anime is what made Demon Slayer. It's not. The story's really good, honestly. If you have a good imagination, you will enjoy Demon Slayer. The art in it still is great. Not like, it's not super stellar, such as like Berserk's drawings are probably like some of the best I've ever seen in a manga. But Demon Slayer is no slouch when it comes to art. It's just that it is a battle shonen, and as you know, fights look better when they're fluid and not just steals on a page. So
you're correct. Yeah.
I mean, it's just that this is probably the optimal way to consume it. But that does not mean if you were thinking of like getting the manga, don't stop on my account. Like, I read it. It's a really good story. It's just that you will be fiending for what comes after. Like I do. Because, man. But all that being said, we got anything else to say or do before I...
Just wanted to mention that be on the lookout for our first live stream. Hopefully our first live stream. We're planning our first live stream. Let me say that. We're planning to do our first live stream. We're planning to do watch along with the Anime Crunchyroll Awards.
Vivi was robbed.
If we don't end up going with that plan, we will let you guys know on our social media. But as of right now, that is the plan.
So whenever that...
But in case, like I said, in case something happens in one way or another, we will let you know.
With all that being said, guys, thank you for coming and watching or listening. As always, you can stay up to date with us by following our socials at the Gurren Otaku Council on Instagram and at Gurren Otaku's on Twitter. Basically, that's where we do all of our updates. Thank you guys for basically listening. If you are listening on the platform, consider giving us a follow. And if you're watching on YouTube, consider liking and subscribing. With all that said, appreciate you guys. Meeting adjourned.